For a minute, grab a chair. These are three members actually of the clubhouse. They have been loyal and faithful members in one way or another, either coming to our events, working out of our space. They wear a lot of different hats in the community. They were some of our earlier companies that pitched during 1 Million Cups. And I brought them here this morning because they have all taken a different direction in some ways into what their original companies were. And so I wanted to create sort of a panel. So thank you all for coming this morning. We appreciate it. The first off, what I'd like to do is have them introduce themselves and sort of what they did before they started their company. So let's just go ahead and do that really quick.
All right, my name is Daniel Shiner. I'm with Sky AgTech. And what I did before starting this company was I worked for Booz Allen Hamilton as a senior consultant in the intelligence business at Fort Worth. That's what brought me here in the military, and that's what kept me here. So yeah, that's what I did.
I'm Jonathan Larry, and before I started Uplift, I worked in economic development, and I still do as well across the river, covering Aiken, Edgefield, and Saline counties, and McCormick as well. And pretty much that's what I do.
I'm Jennifer Tinsley with Field, a skincare company, and I previously worked 19 years in regional government, in planning, community development, and housing, and worked with Jonathan on economic development projects. So we have a past history, as we generally say.
So they all had sort of previous lives, and then obviously they had an aha moment at some point, got the entrepreneur bug. So tell us what your old company was and why you started it.
I started Skyraider Aeronautics because honestly I was tired of working for the government. I took a lot of my technology and my knowledge of it, and understanding of how unmanned systems work, and just took the military model, applied it to commercial. I figured that it would be a fairly easy transition. It wasn't, but it's so I guess we're doing that.
Yeah, so I started Uplift, and at first I thought it was going to be a social network. Oh, back up. The motivation behind starting it was there's always so much negativity in the news that we see every day, a lot of bad news out there, but there's always good stuff happening. So I thought, I'll do this social network and, have people go on there and share the good that they're doing in just a social environment like a Facebook or a Twitter. And that didn't work out too well. So I actually had an app developed and everything during beta testing, decided not to go with it. And so that's when I decided to change route. And so now it's more video oriented, and so I'm sure we'll be getting to that later on.
I started Field Botanicals when I was working. I did that as a side hustle for about 2 years, and was really just breaking my back, working about 50 hours a week at my job, and then coming home and making skincare products in my kitchen, and going to class to learn how to formulate. So it was a struggle, and I just needed to kind of step back and see where I wanted to take it. Either continue to kill myself and be miserable, or just reboot. And that's kind of led me to my rebranding and working with the clubhouse to develop my entrepreneurial skills.
I think for me, what's interesting to watch them evolve in their companies is they're different people, but they have the same grit. They're different kinds of companies and products, and I think that it's symbolic a little bit of what we do here at the clubhouse, because people come to us and they think that we're just technology or that we're just Augusta. And I think the fact that they're doing things that are local, that are also online, it's a really important asset, because there are a lot of parallels in the entrepreneurial spirit in terms of what you can take from other businesses that you might think you're unrelated, in terms of their education or their background or their age. And so there's something that you can get from all of them. What I'd like you to do is you can dive a little deeper right now into maybe what the challenge, the failure, the pivot, the money, whatever it is you think that sort of moved you into this next direction. And if you want to share what that is, then go ahead and share the new and improved version of it.
So I started Skyraider Aeronautics really honestly to help farmers. That was kind of my secondary motivation. And we had a lot of successes, and drones are awesome, and the ways that we're helping out farmers utilizing those drones is increasing every day. But what we started to realize is that we're becoming less of a traditional drone company and turning more into a agricultural technology company. So we were called Skyraider Aeronautics. I named the company after my absolute Douglas A1 Skyraider at the Korean War. And so when we kind of stopped realizing that we're not really doing aeronautics stuff anymore. Drones are a tool, they're a measure, they're a way of collecting data, and that's really what we're working on. That's kind of why we started changing our brand identity. We felt like we were maturing out of a drone company that was just kind of traditional across the board into more specialized software development and solutions management. And so that's kind of what we're doing. Right now, really our big directions are, we're still focused on agriculture. Agriculture is our main business. And we're just finding little tweaks in each industry. Agriculture as a whole, we all like to think of farmers as kind of doing the same thing. Well, each crop is different from another crop. So we realized that, okay, instead of just focusing on all agriculture, let's take a certain number of vectors. So what we're doing is we're releasing a golf product in February 2019. A lot of people don't think agriculture is, or a lot of people don't think golf is agriculture, but turf is actually the number 11 trade commodity outside of Georgia. So it's a huge market. And so we've started working with the University of Georgia. They actually called me. They said, you're the only drone company in the area that we feel like could provide a service to golf courses or some type of integration aspect to golf courses. And we never even considered it. So we went up there to UGA Griffin, Georgia, and made a partnership with them. And so we've been doing data collection with them for the past 8 months now. And that's kind of what we're doing. We're starting to move out into that direction. And also creating other products for very specific types of industries, such as greenhouse growing and that sort of thing. So yeah, we're really kind of just, we're expanding our offerings, but at the same time we're narrowing down our focus into certain vectors. So that's why we also changed our name, frankly, because there's a trademark for a drone company out there called Skyraider. They actually just make a unmanned vehicle. But my lawyer said that you're going to win if they take me to court, but it's going to be expensive. And I was like, all right, cool, we'll just change our name. So we took kind of what we're doing, Sky as in Skyraider, Ag as in agriculture, and Tech as in technologies, kind of threw it together. So now we're Sky Ag Tech, and that's how we got our name and everything. So.
Yeah, so Uplift is, it started as a website, and we still do have a website, but where we just share good news, positive articles there, and then focus switch, like I said, to the app, went through beta testing, had it developed, and I wasn't happy with the experience, so if I wasn't happy with it and I'm the founder, I wouldn't want to put that out there. So decided to pivot back to the website, focus on that, and I really wasn't seeing traction like I would have liked to see, and so people just really don't like to read a lot nowadays, so that's when I said, maybe video content would be the route to go. And also, my focus in the beginning was, I think, too large, because there's positive stuff happening everywhere in the world, but being this startup company was just hard to really, cover all of that. So I decided to narrow my focus back down to the Aiken and Augusta area. And that leads me to what Uplift is doing today, which is more video content. And so later, actually on next week, Thursday, we're going to be having an event here at the clubhouse where we'll be previewing the first episode of a new show that we'll be launching the following Monday called What's Good, where we feature only the positive stories here in the Aiken and Augusta area. And based on the response that we got with the video introducing the show, we really think it's going to be great, and a lot of people are going to watch it. And so revenue was another thing that really caused me to pivot towards video content, because what we were doing before that, I really couldn't monetize. We were covering articles that were already being featured on local or national news, and I can't take that content. And so the show's going to feature all original content from Uplift. We already recorded it, and we got a lot of good stories that we're done with covering. And really, one of the things that we need your help in is sharing what's good. So while we're going to be going out finding stories to video, interviewing people, interviewing organizations, we really need your guys' help to submit stories as well. And so basically, just to start, we're going to be doing the show bi-weekly, and so it's going to be released every other Monday. And I got a show host from Aiken and a show host from Augusta. And one of the problems that I had early on was that I was doing everything myself, but this is more of a team effort. So I got them, I got someone to help me go after advertisers. So if you own a business, most likely we'll be talking to you. And so I'm I'm really excited about the future and what this can lead to. This is sort of like a baby step to where we ultimately want to go with video content. And that's really pretty much where Uplift is now.
So when Grace asked me to do this a couple days ago as a fill-in and asked all of us, I look back, I was the first One Million Cups presenter when the program first started here at the Clubhouse. So I look back at my video, which is on YouTube if you want to Google it, but and just kind of looked and see what I talked about and what my goals were. And I'm proud to say that over a year later, I'm pretty much on point with everything. There's a couple months difference. But I also quit my job and took a year off and went to every learning event I could possibly do. I talked to everybody. I went to every networking event. I put so much work into just learning how to do this business thing that I think that pays off in the planning part. I did a 3-year business plan, and all those marks are being hit right now. Those milestones are being hit right now. So it's very important to stay focused, but it's also good to know when to pivot. When those bumps in the road get to you, and you're like, well, should I just stay on this trail, or should I just kind of step back and climb? So that pivot for me is, I think, the retail store. And it was a brilliant pivot because I just kind of never planned to have a retail store. Well, not in the first 3 years anyway. And space became available, and without any kind of, here I'd been like taking a year off to learn how to run a business and how to do a business plan and had, my budget and had all these items in place. And like, oh, I'm just gonna open a retail store, like totally off track. But then I don't do anything half-ass, excuse me. I went full ass on this one, and it just opened up a retail store. And I have several customers who can vouch for it today. But it was just something that kind of fell on my lap, and I just said, this can be another, leg of my stool, my little business stool. And I did a soft opening September 1st, and I'm just absolutely thrilled to say that in 1 month, my grand opening is this Friday, so I'm a little, not sleeping too well these days, but September 1st, the month of September, I had sales expectations, no advertising, 0 paid advertising. I more than doubled my sales expectations. So it's just something Augusta needs right now. So that's my huge pivot. It's just, having to quickly get a retail store up and running and learning how to do that and, communicating with your customers. And I thought, I've never done anything like this before. But I have. I worked in community development. I just didn't do it in my own community. I was always working with people to develop their own communities and to join forces and have grassroots efforts in planning and community development and housing. And I just wasn't doing it in my own backyard. And now it has energized me so much to be able to do that in Augusta and in downtown Augusta when there's so much else happening around here. So it's that's sort of my passion now. But the plan is going to be launched Friday too. So I did talk about my products, and these are my products. Like I actually have not yet anything in them, but I have packaging there. They will be delivered by Friday. So these are my 3 products that I talked about in the first 1 million cups, and I'm real happy to say that this is it. This is what I envisioned, and it's happening now. So.
From my understanding, Jennifer had her own products that she was actually designing, and now the retail space has expanded. So you have other products available, but you still have a niche within the beauty market.
Yeah, there's over 50 independent beauty brands, mostly women-owned and sustainable, organic, and beauty brands in the shop, not including mine. So mine will be in the shop. Right.
And tell everybody where your store is and more about what's happening on Friday.
Okay, so the store is on 12th Street. It's right behind Farmhouse. It's a one-way street now, so going towards the river. Although nobody seems to buy that stuff. But it's open now. We're open Tuesday through Saturday, 11 to 6. I've got some great employees that are very, very part-time employees right now that have just been really helpful in kind of getting the shop up and running and looking good. And, volunteers like that, who comes and does my chalkboard. So having, the clubhouse has been a big help too. And my IT guy, Chris, back there as well. You need to come see me, Chris.
Coming today.
All right. So that's been good. The grand opening is, we're going to have a little party. We're going to have a DJ Friday night. It's events during Westaboo, so we're hoping to draw some people down from the Commons area and Ursula and everything from 5 to 9. So from 5 to 7, we're doing makeup demonstrations. We're giving swag bags away to the first 30 people who walk through the door, and we're also doing a drawing for a $100 gift card Friday night. And then having a DJ, having some vegan appetizers. So it's just a little fun party, and then I'm going to class.
I would say also, shout out to all three of them. I'm not very active on social media, but I see a lot of things, and I would say that all three of them, a testament to their social media marketing and their free advertising, is keeping content up and current and photogenic and consistent and community engagement, talking to their customers, putting out questions. I think that retweeting information from their industries. I think those are all really, really important as a small business owner who may or may not have a lot of marketing dollars. It's a good grassroots way to really expose your. I didn't realize that it was all unpaid advertising. You've done an amazing job
When
in the
people
last
come in the
3
shop, I
months.
say, can I put you on Instagram?
Yeah,
And they're like,
yeah.
And they, it goes viral. Yeah, it's great. And it's fun, that people love to do that. So
That's awesome. All right, Jonathan, tell us again about what's happening next Thursday and what they can know about your event.
Yeah, so next week, Thursday, October 11th at 6 o'clock, we're going to be having the show launch event. So this is going to be where you'll be able to see the first episode before it's released to the general public. And also, we're going to have, of course, networking. We're going to have some light refreshments. You'll be able to meet the team and learn more about Uplift's history. And so if you want to come out, everybody's welcome to that. We just ask that you can RSVP at Uplift, UPLIFF, and there's a story behind the second F. And you'll hear about that next week, Thursday, if you're there. But upliff.com/RSVP. I mean, wrong, /event. Uplift.com/.
Okay, we'll put it on our website, on our social media, and then you can link it to
Exactly.
How's that, Jonathan?
Exactly, that sounds good.
Okay,
So,
what time is it?
at 6 o'clock.
Okay, and it's here?
It's here at
Okay,
the clubhouse.
6 o'clock here. Okay, so if you guys aren't doing anything next Thursday, please come and support our fellow entrepreneur as he launches his video series. And then Daniel, what was the last thing you wanted to share with us about you doing something upstairs?
Oh yes, I'm going to be doing a brief kind of demonstration. We're going to be launching from the roof, and I'm going to be flying over the river, probably doing a quick survey at the new baseball stadium, and then so I'll be flying that probably after this.
So yeah, if none of you have been up to the rooftop garden, he's going to take his drone that way, so hopefully it'll be all good. Does anybody here have any questions for them before we end our series? I'm sure they would love to get some feedback from all of you. Chris?
Does anyone else get to fly the drone over at
I don't.
Did you hear the question?
can you draw some of my products?
I can't.
Yeah.
No.
You want to know if anyone else can fly the drone, Daniel?
Oh no. But we are doing we're actually doing a course to train brand new. If you want to be a Part 107 pilot where you fly drones commercially, we're going to be doing it at Augusta Regional Airport from October 29th through the 31st. It's going to be done there. It's $350 for the 3-day course, and you're going to have a FAA air traffic control for all of Augusta and the region coming down to give a talk about how to interact with air traffic control flying your drone safely. So if you want to be a drone pilot, come let me know.
There you go, Chris. Yes, Rob.
I don't have a question necessarily, but I do want to make a comment. I'm so proud of all three of you guys.
Aw.
Stand up. But it does. It just every one of you made me realize the importance, and this was one of the points actually I didn't get to, but the importance of networking. All of you mentioned the networking piece of it. And I think there's nothing that works better than face-to-face. So I would say to everyone here today, there's somebody in this room that knows who you need to know to really catapult your business to another level. So never underestimate the power of the face-to-face networking. But you guys have done a fantastic job. So proud of you. Oh, I can't wait to fly the drone.
Thank you, Robbie. I will remind all of you again, first Wednesday of every month, if you haven't applied or you're interested in applying to pitch your event, I'm sorry,